Hello, bonjour, salve, hola, ni hao, konnichiwa. To all my Skeletors, welcome to the Skeleton Closet podcast. All right, here we talk about it all. No subject is off limits, especially since Freak Offs and Baby Oil made its debut. Okay? All right. Now, 2024 gave all the skeletons a voice. They are tired of sitting in a hot ass closet. Can the church say amen? Amen and amen. This platform provides light, air, irrigation to all skeletons trapped in the closet. Now come along if you dare to be exposed. Now here's the disclaimer. Our podcast videos are only here to entertain your trapped skeleton. It's all closet talk for entertainment purposes only. We encourage you to think outside the door for yourself and soul survival. Wink, 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 wink. Okay? Now that the formalities are out the way, I do want to add this statement. We are structurally unstructured over here, okay? As skeletons are going to do as they please. I just want y'all to keep that in mind. Now, I also want you to not pay attention to the reverberation. It just adds emphasis on everything that I'm saying. Okay, thank you very much. And I also want you to know they gave the wrong skeleton a mic and a platform because it's gonna get messy over here. All right, guys, let's jump into our next episode. People presumptuously think because I'm Black, I emphatically hate Trump. Why? Earlier today, I was speaking with a couple of commuters, and in discussion, they had a lot of Trump bashing, and I was just curious to know why. And they felt so comfortable with me because, we share the same race. All of us are Black. And so I took from the preliminary conversation that because I am Black, or because all of us are Black, we are supposed to have one ideology. We are supposed to think one particular way, and all of us supposed to be on this hate train for Trump. Once I started to engage further into the conversation, I simply asked a couple of questions. One, and primarily, I asked, well, why do you hate this man so much? What exactly is it that you dislike about this individual? And so what one of the commuters said to me, he was like, well, because he's the reason for the COVID outbreak. He's the reason why it happened. And he left a ship out at sea. He didn't even allow the ship to dock. And then they also said, well, no, so I asked him, I said, how is it his fault that COVID was a major outbreak? And they said, well, because, he had fair warning, but he refused to shut the country down. He should have shut the country down back in September. And I was like, really? I said, so you don't think that there was different variables that, played a factor on why he didn't necessarily just shut the country down? I said, because it comes with a lot to just put a halt to everything that is going on within the country. Like just to say, all right, that's it. Everyone stop. We on lockdown. I said, you really have to sit there and weigh the pros and cons. Like, is it really as bad as, we think it is, or are we overreacting? And I asked them, I said, honestly, I don't think any of us expected for the COVID outbreak to spread so rapidly. That was honestly my answer. I also felt that, I said, well, okay, so as far as the ship, you're talking about, he left the ship in the middle of the sea and then allowed the ship to dock. I said, well, if the country was shut down, that means everything stops. So whether he's shut down the country in March versus September, somebody was going to be stuck out at sea regardless, because things come to a halt. So we're not talking about one or two ships that are leaving, every hour on hour. I said, there's multiple ships that are traveling via sea. So it's not just going to be, hey, fair warning. I said, no, when there is a state of emergency, no. Nobody will have the proper planning, preparation. You just have to stop. Whatever you are doing, it comes to a halt. Even the people who was on vacation, who was traveling during this time, they got stuck in other countries. It's like you had, I don't know what it is. I think people had a couple of hours to hurry up and change their flight and get back to the States, get back to America, or get back to whatever country, you were traveling to. You need, because everything was getting ready to come to a halt. And so, it brings me to the executive orders. Let's talk about the DEI, the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion executive order that President Trump signed. Now, a lot of people, they're upset about this. Honestly, I see it as a benefit. I truly think this can work in our favor. But see, you have to know how to maneuver during this shift. Now, let me give you a couple of scenarios. You're somebody who works in corporate America or wherever, okay, wherever you may work, and you've been complaining about the Karens on your job. There's always a Karen, Karen this, Karen that. Or you're overlooked for a raise, a promotion, or it's a toxic work environment. You're underappreciated. You don't like the corporate politics. You don't fit in with company culture. You start to feel like an outcast. This is your motto. Well, I'm just going to keep my head down and work my 8 hours. You're going to keep all of your creative thoughts where you can stand out and thrive. You keep that to yourself. You don't allow your intellectual prowess or your creative prowess to be completely liberated because you feel undervalued. You know why? It's because they treat you like a DEI hire. They were made to hire you. They didn't want to hire you. So honestly, I'm like, yes, get rid of the DEI program. It's really not beneficial for us. Like, if you really want to go down that rabbit hole, it's not. I do not want to invest my time and energy, my sweat equity, my intelligence, my creativity on a company that does not appreciate me, that overlooks me, knowing that I'm more than qualified for a particular position, a raise, and they just look at you like you're the hired help. You know why? Because you are. They only hire you because they had to. Not because they wanted to, not because they saw the value in you. So I'm like, no, I'm okay with the fact that please get rid of the DEI. Get rid of the DEI. I want to be with a company that appreciate what I bring to the table. I want to work for a company that want me to be there. They see that I'm a great asset to have on their team, to have within their company. That's what I want. I want a great company environment. Like, I want the personalities to fit. I don't want to come to work and be miserable all freaking day. And I'm forced to work with you guys, with these individuals who can't stand me, who will probably sabotage my work. That's not what I want. I feel like a lot of us, we start to have creative blockages because we disparage our own creative ideas simply because of the environment that we place ourselves in. I feel like you need to find a company that will appreciate you and your talent. Or you should start a business reflecting the core values of your company's foundation or what you want to see within your company. But don't just invite me in your home because you feel sorry for me. And you're just going to treat me like I'm a neglected child, a neglected employee. It's like you just invited me in your home because they said you had to. What? And you think you're going to get full hospitality from that? No. So it's okay, y'all. Just let the DEI go. It's not a problem. It's not a big deal. It actually works in your benefit. Because now that you know that someone is not hiring you because they have to, and then most of the time when they hire you guys, they don't even pay you your worth. They just be like, nah, it ain't in the budget for you, Slim. It ain't in, nah. First of all, they said I had to hire you. They didn't say I had to give you equal pay for that position. I'm just going to pay you something slight. I really don't want you here, but regulations. You get what I'm saying? No, that's not okay. Now, another executive order that was signed, that President Trump signed, was the restoration of freedom of speech. Like, take a moment. Y'all, listen. Take a moment and process that. On Trump's first day one, transition of power, this man had to sign an executive order reinstating our freedom of speech. And he prohibited the government censorship. That goes for like shadow banning our content, prohibiting our opinionated views, our voice. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is great news. I'm sorry, but this is great news. And the whole time, I mean, well, I was aware of the government censorship. I was aware of that. But a lot of people out here who's on this hate bandwagon of hate Trump train, they don't even know that their freedom of speech was obsolete. They don't even know that. And it was going to continue to progress and progress where they will get in your thoughts. You wouldn't even be allowed to think certain things. But you know what he did? He abolished that. Reinstating freedom of speech. I feel like that's like a basic necessity to live in. It's having your voice, because if you lose your voice, who are you? Now, before y'all petty people start talking about, well, there's deaf people out here who can't talk. Like, listen, I'm not the one for that. Don't come over here with the ignorance. I'm not talking about the people who have like some type of speech impediments or individuals who are deaf, who are unable to speak. I'm not talking about them. I am talking about the government silencing you advertently based upon what you believe. You just want to state your opinion. A lot of us have podcasts out here. Imagine your podcast being shadow banned. Your content just being deleted because you said something that the government didn't like. You stepped on too many toes. You speaking too much truth. A lot of times people can't handle the truth, especially when you calling out skeletons in the government. All right, let's talk about the next order that he signed. The LGBTQ2 gender ideology, the male and female. Y'all, let me tell you, I had a situation. This was in the grocery store. I needed some type of assistance in finding a particular item in the grocery store. And so I went to this young lady to ask her. She was like the first person that I saw that worked there. And I was like, excuse me, can you show me where such and such is? And so when she told me where it was, I was like, thank you so much, ma'am. She was like, oh, that's sir. I looked like, what the hell? Like, yo, I'm not even going to lie. It caught me off guard. It really did. I can't even lie. It caught me off guard. And I look, clearly, this woman looks like a girl, like a lady, like a ma'am. And me being respectful, saying, thank you, ma'am, she was offended by it. And whole time, let me tell you, I lied to you not. Whole time, it almost messed me up psychologically. I lied to you not. Because I looked like, what the hell? Like, what the hell she just... Y'all, listen. Look, I live under a rock. Yes, I do. I do. I am a complete recluse. But the times that I do go out, I think the world is supposed to be like the same way like I left it, right? No, man, let me tell you, it messed me up for maybe the entire time. No, I can't even say just the entire time I was in the store. It messed me up even after I was still pondering on what she said to me. And I was like, yo, we have a serious crisis on our hands out here. I'm like, there was, look, let me tell you something. As a grown adult woman, if that situation was able to kind of throw me psychologically, I felt like I had a mental glitch for a moment. I was like, what? What the hell did this girl just say to me? I mean, because she said it with, she had a little attitude with it. She was so perturbed that I said, thank you, ma'am. She's like, oh, it's sir. And I'm like, chick, listen, I'm trying to choose my words wisely over here. And speak carefully, but listen, these are my views and my platform. I'm like, I really wanted to rebuttal against her. And I'm like, just because you a little psychologically effed up in the mind, don't think you're going to do a transference of psychology over here, because I don't care. I'm not rocking that way. I can't, and I refuse to. I know that I'm looking at a full-blown girl, and you gonna tell me no, it's sir. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, you ain't gonna play no mental games with me. And all this going through my head, I told you, it's like I glitched for a minute, like, wait, what? The hell she just say? Y'all, it's funny to me because, like, going back to that moment, I'm telling you, I can't explain to you how it had me pause for a moment. It really did. And so I think about the children. I was like, yo, these kids growing up thinking, or growing up being told, like, yes, I'm a girl, he's a boy. But then what about the kids who, y'all, I can't even communicate this because honestly, I don't understand it. And this ain't nothing about being ignorant. No. So play that game with somebody else. Choose my words wisely. See, this is why I can't even fully talk right now because let me tell you something. This mouth can be exceptionally lethal. And I can really hurt some people's feelings, like really, really bad. But yeah, I'm just, nah. All I can say is I'm all the way with Trump on this one. I'm sorry. I am. Because I think about the children, our future. I really do. I also think about, there's this one particular child who comes to my mind right now. And she was going to school with my niece. And this is one of my niece friends. And so I remember the first time I met this young lady. Now, of course, my niece, she's in, elementary school. And this little girl, she changed her name. And she told my niece that she was non-binary. And so my niece, she was like, well, what is that? And she was just like, where you don't identify with being, you don't identify with a gender. So she doesn't identify being a girl, and she doesn't identify herself as a boy. She's just like, I have no gender. Like she's just a nobody, like an empty vessel. And so when my niece, when she came home and she was talking about this, and then when I saw the little girl, I was like, okay, there's some type of like transition that is taking place. And I'm just, and in my head, I'm like, yo, this baby is, she's in elementary school. Like, how is it that this baby is going through a transformation phase like this? So, me, y'all don't know me, but I'm just a little observant, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna have to keep my eye on this child. And so a couple of days went on, and then her parent, her mom, she came up to me, she introduced herself to me, and she was like, hey, this your daughter, my daughter always saw. I was like, oh no, that's my niece. And so she was just, we was just starting to have like this conversation again, I guess, I don't know, whatever. So anyway, she felt the need to introduce herself to me because her daughter was always talking about my niece. Red flag, red flag, red flag for me, right? Because I'm in the background observing everything, and I'm just listening to everything that my niece is saying to me. So anyway, and so, the mom, she was just like, yeah, she's going through like this phase where now she want to chop all her hair off. She used to have really pretty long hair, but now, that's why she has like this bush, because she just wanted to, cut her hair off. Now, let me rewind it back. She was like, hi, I'm so-and-so's mom. And so when I looked at her, I was like, who? Because I didn't know the name that, this is the child's biological name. Now, mind you, this child changed her name without her mom even knowing. I was like, yo, you in elementary school. How is this even like possible? So even the teachers are on board with this. So she go to school, she tell the teachers like, listen, call me this. She introduced herself to all her friends as a particular name. And her mom, she hates it. She hates it. She was like, I did not name her that, and da-da-da-da, And I was like, oh, okay. So then my guard started to come down and lower. I was like, okay. So the mom, because at first I was thinking like, yo, what type of parent are you? Your child in elementary school and going through, this is what's going through my head. And the whole time, nah, her mom was not on board with that stuff. But see, what happened is the school started to push that agenda on her child. Did the mom tell me all of this? And so once, when the mom started opening up to me a little more about what was going on truly behind the scenes, I said, oh, hell no. Oh, no. It was all, she was like, I sent my child to school, my daughter to school one way, and here go the teachers pushing this non-binary BS on my child, and it has my child being confused on like, oh my God, like, what am I? And I was like, yo, what? I couldn't believe what the mom was sharing with me. And so when she would go to the school, she'd pick up her daughter, or she'd like talk to the teachers like, hey, listen, Like she would go to the school and pick up her daughter with the name that she registered her child with, her biological name. The guy did, I'm sorry. The school gonna say, oh, you mean such and such? And she looked, she was like, no, I mean the name that I named my child. And she was just like, so like the staff in the office was just like, well, you know, she don't like that name, so we can't call her that name. And, you know, it's best that, you know, you support her. And if she wants to be called something else, you should call her by what she prefers. And the parent lady, go, if you don't go get my damn child, like, go get my child. And so why later, like a couple of days later, why did they send like some type of counselor out to the home? Child, I was like, oh, hell no, couldn't have been me, baby. No way. They sent somebody out to the home, like to do like some type of welfare check of the child to make sure that the little girl feels comfortable being in her home and that her mom is not treating her some type of way because, like, you know, she's choosing to be this non-binary, you know, classification. And so first of all, she's the only child. She's the only child. So, and her mom is like, you know, like this girly girl. And she was like, this is my baby. This is my daughter. And now, like, my daughter is like transforming right before my eyes. And like, whole time the school is pushing this agenda on my child. Let me tell you something. This year, that child is homeschooled. And I said, I know that's right. Take that child out of that school. Absolutely. So I'm telling y'all, you better be careful with your kids. And you know how they have, like, they take the kids to like libraries so they can like choose different books. Do you know that the school like pushed this non-binary book on her? And all of the little girl's schoolwork, the schoolwork doesn't even have a gender. No, so like, okay, here's an example. So you know how like with different like readings that you do, like they don't have like her, she, him, he, like, nah, it has all they, them. Like, yes. And so the mom, she looking at her child's work and she was just like, what is this? Like, what type of schoolwork is this? Come to find out. So she brought the work over to us, right? To compare it with my niece's work. Totally different work. Y'all, this is a problem. It was totally different work. They ended up taking this woman's child, like isolating her from the other kids who know who the hell they are, girl, boy. And they singled this child out for this child to just focus on different type of work that doesn't, I don't know. It's so confusing. That's what I'm saying. Like even talking about this is messing with me psychologically. My goodness. So if you guys are not careful, and if you're not paying any attention to your children or paying attention to what is going on in school, what is going on in this child's life, because you can live one way, but the school will have a whole different process, a whole different ideology that they're pushing on your babies. And unfortunately, this parent had to find out the hard way what was going on. Like all of a sudden, these changes are taking place with her little girl. So listen, I don't know. But the more the little girl hung out with my niece, she will only be like do her girly stuff when my niece is around. Yep. Her mom would be like, let's go, let's go to the mall, let's go do some stuff, like girly stuff. My niece is all the way down with it. And so she always want my niece to come with them to the mall, go hang out. That's the only time she want to get girly. Yeah. So, but like I said, she did right by withdrawing that baby out of that school. She is homeschooling her daughter. And I said, I know that's right, child. And so now her child is getting like real education, like real treatment, like she's getting real work, and not someone who is distorting her mind or trying to reprogram her mind, configure her mind. So I say all that to say, I am so glad that Trump signed this into order. Just two genders. That's it, male and female. All that extra stuff, listen, we don't have time for it. We really don't. And I understand, like a lot of y'all want to do what y'all, that's fine, but go ahead and do that. But you have to be fair with these kids. Certain things should not be pushed in these babies' face. It should not. So I'm like, man, their brains are still developing, and you have all these little boys who's wearing purses and just wanting to be a female. I'm just like, yo, this is out of control. It is so out of control. It really is. And I'm just like, wow, like what is really happening here? y'all. I didn't think I was gonna go deep into it, like a little tangent. Also, I am so glad that Trump, he mentioned that, all the service members who was unjustly expelled for declining the COVID inoculation. I am so glad he's going to restate them, and he's giving them back pay. This is like 3 to 4 years worth of back pay. Now that is one hell of a severance package, and I just think that is so fair, so fair. So, I mean, listen, I'm encouraging everyone to think for yourselves, okay? Think for yourselves. Do not allow people to push their different ideologies on you. I also want you guys to look into certain things that Trump is talking about, especially the ones who are against him. Just like really take a moment and look at what he's doing. Like, this man came in taking action. Like, he's providing different solutions. He's placing things in order. He's making sure he's building a firm foundation for the American people the right way. So I'm all the way on board with this. And I want to say one more thing. I realized that a lot of Black people, we were programmed to think a certain type of way. We were programmed to only vote for Democrats. Now, this was my first year voting for the red, because I was always taught to vote for the blue. And I never even cared what people was talking about, what they promised. Come to find out, false promises. But, that's a whole nother story, y'all. That's a whole nother story. I just want you guys to seriously sit and think about, why are you voting blue? Now, we can talk about this because the election is already over, but I really want you to ask yourself that, why do I vote Democrat? Why do I vote blue? And most of the time, it's because we have been taught to vote that way. No matter who is running, no matter what they say, no matter what false promises they tell us, you just know that you're going to vote blue. And it's so interesting because during the election season, I was talking to my grandmother and, my uncle here and there, because, we were all, it was like, the family talk. And I truly asked them, I said, so who you voting for? And of course, it was like, Biden, of course, Democrat. And I said, why? My grandmother told me, she said, because I have always voted for Democrats. That's just what I have done. And I was like, and honestly, it really piqued my curiosity. And I was like, wow, is this some type of distortion that was placed on us that we are unaware of? And when I was asking certain questions, my uncle started to get an attitude, y'all. He did, because he was just like, what you talking about? So you gonna vote for Trump? Like, he got real hostile with me, y'all. I lie to you not. Like, he caught big attitude. So what you mean? You gonna vote for Trump? And I was like, what do you have against the man? I said, listen to what he's saying. So you know what happened down at the Capitol. Okay, what does that have to do with what he is talking about, what he wants to implement for our country? What type of political views he has? What is he trying to change? What is he trying to fix? What is he trying to make better? I mean, listen, I understand. Yes, a lot of people was in the uproar over January 6th. I get that. But past that, we look past that. What is he talking about? And then a lot of people want to say, oh, he wants to stop us from killing babies. And I was like, can you take a moment and think about what the hell you just said? You're upset because he wants to stop people from killing babies? Honestly, I don't think people hear what is coming out their mouths. I honestly don't think they do. Or I don't think people truly understand what they're seriously fighting for. Honestly, I lie not. When I saw those people marching, and I saw people, for abortion rights, pro-choice, listen, touchy topic. I know, it's okay, but I'm going there. I was like, wow, we have a lot of crazy people in the world. And a lot of y'all say, or not just y'all, let's just say a lot of them, those people, they would say, well, it's my body and I want to do what I want to do. And I'm like, yo, I get that. But whole time you not understanding that this is going to save your body. It's going to save your body. And then they were like, well, what happened if I get raped and then I get pregnant? I understand that some certain situations like that happen. I understand. Unfortunate, yes. But a lot of times there are people who are careless with their bodies. They go out here and have unfulfilling, reckless sex. They do. And they be like, oh, well, let me wake up and pop a plan B. Oh, it's too late. Oh, well, let me go ahead and like get this abortion. Like just, I don't know. I just have a hard time understanding people who have sex for no reason. Y'all, this is just my view. I'm just talking here. I don't. I don't. I really don't. I just feel like we are all grown and we understand how babies are made. And if we understand how babies are made, and if you're going to be so careless and reckless with your sexual energy and you lay down and you get pregnant, it's not an oops, I'm pregnant. Like, yo, what do you expect? How are babies made? You get what I'm saying? And then on top of that, a lot of these abortions, this is like a pushed agenda. I can't even get into all of that. All I'm saying is y'all don't even know what happened to the fetuses after they're sucked out of you. You don't even know what. That's a whole nother topic of another rabbit hole to go down. So I'm not going to go that far down that rabbit hole, but how about you just kind of be like, question. I wonder, what do they do with those fetuses? How do they dispose of those fetuses? And then a lot of y'all don't understand that when you find out that you have a curse on your womb, where do you think it comes from? How do you think it got there? And by the time you're ready to have a family with a particular person that you met, and then your body is rejecting a pregnancy or in vitro fertilization, and you're just crying and trying to understand why, you have to think about what you did with your sexual energy. See, this is things people don't want to talk about because people are scared to talk about certain topics. But no, we need to pull all the skeletons out the closet and speak about the truth. A lot of times women don't know what is taking place with their bodies. I lie to you not. I know a couple of women who struggle with having kids, getting pregnant because they had multiple abortions when they were younger. Now, I'm not talking about they were not raped. They were not, molested in no type of way. No, this is like they're pro-choice of sleeping around, not ready to, take on responsibility and be a mom. So they was like, oh no, well, I'm gonna go down the street and I'm gonna go to Parent Planhood. I always find it amazing that Parenthood, what is it? Planned Parenthood? I don't even know. I've never even been to one of those places. I don't even know what the hell it's really called for real. But they're always in the hood. They're always in impoverished locations. Have you noticed that? You would not find no Parent Planhood in no residential suburban area. That's unheard of. No, they don't. Nope. Wake up, people. Find out what's really going on for real. Because I'm telling you, a lot of times that sacrifice, because let's be real, it's a blood sacrifice. That is a curse on your womb when you make that blood sacrifice. I'm telling you, you don't want to believe me? It's okay. I don't care if you don't believe me, but how about for the ones who didn't know this? I'm just giving you a different perspective and I'm giving you the truth. And I'm just tiptoeing down that rabbit hole. Because it's way deeper than what I'm saying. So when you look at a president who cares about your body and telling you, and not just about your body, he cares about the welfare of you psychologically first. Because you know how that can mess with an individual? That can really mess with you. Y'all, I'm just saying, don't look at things on the surface. Just take time out and really dive deep into your thoughts. Why do you feel certain things? Why do you feel certain ways about certain people, certain topics? Why does certain situations rub you the wrong way? Just ask yourself. All right, guys, I am going to end this episode here. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. Bye.